Beverly, this tutorial on how I make my wigs. So the hair I'm going to be using today is from MyFirstWig. This is some Indian hair. All the information will be below in the info bar. This is the cap that I'm going to be using today to make this beautiful bombshell wig. It is just a spandex dome cap that I put on a mannequin head. And the reason why you see this tape on the mannequin head is because I sometimes use 5 bundles on my wig caps, and having tape around the mannequin head just stretches out the wig cap, or it makes the wig cap a little bit more bigger. Now what you see me doing is putting like these little hairpins around the perimeter of the wig cap to secure the wig cap down so it does not move around a lot. So that's what I'm pretty much doing here. Here I'm taking my needle and I'm going actually through the track, as you can see. I do this because it secures the track down on the cap, and I pull the thread all the way through until it gets to the knot that's at the end. Now, my threading is not the best. I'm not a professional. I don't do hair for a living, so this is the technique that I like to do when it comes to making my wigs. I don't have a particular way that I thread my wigs or thread my weft. I just do it, and I just make sure it's really snug at the beginning, because you definitely want to make sure the beginning of the track is very secured onto the wig so you won't have any problems with it moving around. Next, what I'm going to do is take a hairpin and pin it down on the track to keep it from moving, and it's also going to give me a straight line. So next I'm going to take the track, or take the thread through the cap, pull it through and loop it through. I'll do it again. Okay? Put the needle in the cap, pull it through, loop it, and there you go. So I'm not going to speed up the video just yet. I want you guys to see exactly what I'm doing. It's very simple. Everyone has their own way of sewing, but this is just the way that I like to do it. I've never had any issues prior, so if it's not broke, why fix it? So I'm just going to continue to do this until I get to the folding of the track. And in case you're wondering about my fingernail polish, because you guys are always so in love with it, I am wearing the Essie nail polish, and it's called Ladylike. Oh, love this polish. So let me just show you guys how the weft looks after I have sewn it down. See? This is all I do. Simple, easy, you can do it too. Now, when it comes to folding over my tracks, I don't like to cut my wefts, so I just fold my wefts over. And what I do is I fold the weft over. I take a pin to make sure the weft stays flipped, and I'm going to take my needle and go through my track. Do not go underneath your track. Go through your track, as you see me doing here. It may be a little difficult to do depending on if the weft will let you go through, like how I had to do with that. I had to wiggle the needle through the weft. But once you get it, kind of loose a little bit, it becomes a little bit more easier. But just keep pulling, but just be gentle not to rip the cap. So that's all I do when it comes to flipping over the weft. I just really go through a couple times to make sure it's secured and flat and not going anywhere. Really love it. So anyways, I'm just going to stop talking and let you guys see again how I do my wefting, or how I sew down my hair. And I'm just going to speed it up just a little bit, guys, because this video is super duper long. I'm going to come back and explain a couple different techniques that I'm using in this video so you guys can see what's going on. Alright, so as you can see, I like to bring my track all the way to the front of the wig cap. If you decide to do this, do not sew the band on the wig cap. The elastic band, if you were to sew it, your wig is not going to stretch. So go like on the cap but not on the band. It doesn't really, it may not make sense, right now, but if you have the cap in front of you, you will definitely see what I mean. Like, don't sew the band, just sew through the cap, not going through the band but through the cap. And that's why you see me struggling a little bit right here, because I'm trying to make sure I actually go through the cap and not that elastic band. I just wanted to point that out because I would hate for someone to sew that band and when it's time for them to put it on their head, it's way too small because it has no stretchability. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Alright, now depending on how you want your hair styled will depend on where you want your closure to be. I pretty much like to just put my closure right in the center of my wig because I can just shift my wig if I want it like a side part or something like that. So I'm going to put the closure a little further down off of the wig cap, and I do this because it lays a lot more flatter if you do it that way. So don't put the lace close to the edge of the wig cap. Have the lace go down just a little further than where the wig ends or the wig cap ends. And as you can see, I'm just gently sewing the closure down. I'm not pulling on it. You want to be very careful when you're doing this because you definitely can damage the lace. And keep going all the way until you get to the back of the closure. And I'm going to show you why I don't like to go all the way around my closure with this one thread. When it comes to sewing down closures, I like to do one side at a time. So I'll do one side and I'll finish it off at the top or at the middle, and then I'll go to the next side and I will work on the next side and gently pull as I'm doing. And that just makes sure that your closure is going to lay flat. It's not going to have a hump in it because you are pulling as you sew. And because I know that's going to happen, that's why I only sewed down one side. And by me working on the opposite side, I can now pull that piece down to make sure it doesn't bunch up while I'm sewing it down. And as you can see, the top of the closure has like a little hump on it, but I'm going to fix that by just gently pulling the closure. Once the weft has gotten close to the closure, what I do is fold over the weft and go through the weft, go through the track to secure it down and have it flat like this. I'm almost getting close to finishing up with my wig, so what I do to close up my wig is I begin to lay my tracks horizontal, and I'll show you in just a second once I flip this last track. So as you can see, I'm going to flip this last track and I'm going to lay it over like this, and I'm going to continue to do this until I reach the closure. Voila, here's the wig. It is very full and wavy. I'm just going to take a powder brush and just brush through the hair to make sure, nothing is caught up in any thread. But this hair is absolutely gorgeous. I did not realize how beautiful this hair was until this finishing of this wig. Like, this hair is so thick and full. Like, wow, look at that. It has so much body, and like, you can't see any tracks except for that track right there, of course. But the rest of the hair, you can't see any tracks because I sew my tracks so close to each other. Now, this is what the cap looks underneath, and I'm going to show you guys how to cut the cap so you can see your closure. Let's go ahead and finish off this video with me showing you guys how I style my wig. As you saw in the video, this is pretty much how the wig looks once it's done, and this is pretty much the inside of the wig. I don't like to sew my wigs down, so what I do is I sew a elastic band that you can get from like a fabric store and sew it on the sides of the cap, and I'm going to show you how I put it on. and then I just pull it down to my liking. So let me just get it right. This hair is very, very pretty. Like, look at that. And I got my favorite shirt on. Like, I love this superhero shirt. Like, I love this Superwoman shirt. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and put a clamp right here to keep me from parting my hair. So as you can see, I'm going to have like a pretty deep side part. Yep, sorry Cash. My wig just hit Cash. Okay, so I'm going to take my clamp. So I'm really not going for like small curls. I really want like big loose curls. So I'm going to use a bigger curling iron towards the bottom and then use a smaller one towards the top. I just want to make sure it's hot. Okay, it's not as hot yet. Whitney. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is pretty much how the hair is coming out, and I'm really feeling it. Yeah, I've pretty much gotten my hair parted where I want it to be. Off camera a little later, I'm gonna go back and tweak my part some more because I definitely want my part to be a little bit more longer. Just gonna add a little bit of foundation to that part. This is totally optional. Some people don't like to do this. Some people add eyeshadow, or some people just go ahead and bleach their knots. I didn't do that, so I'm just going to do what I do. And to me, it just looks a lot better. This is pretty much the look that I came up with. As you guys seen, I did no layers in this hair. I just pretty much curled it. And as you can see, I just kind of flipped my bangs coming inward in order to get the bangs to look so full and voluminous on this side. So I didn't do anything special, didn't do any type of layering. It was super easy. It's all about the flick of your wrist. It's all about how you curl your hair. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry it took so long for me to do this video, but it was so much to do this video. Like, I had to get it at an angle so that you guys didn't see my arms, my hands, my back, and all this other stuff. So it just took a little while to get the proper technique down on how to film the video so you guys could see how I sewed the hair onto the wig cap. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.